The world today is overwhelmingly loud. We live in an era where speaking up is constant, and noise is often mistaken for power and true influence. But look closely at the natural world. The mountain does not shout to prove its height. It simply stands, unmoving and majestic against the passing sky. A single drop creates ripples on a silent surface. Silence is not an empty void. It is a canvas for true impact and meaningful existence today. True strength does not need to roar. The weakest vessels often make the loudest noise, desperate to be noticed and validated by the world around them. We are taught that silence is a sign of weakness or a lack of confidence. But the masters of history knew something very different and profound. The weak require constant noise to validate their existence. They fear the quiet because it forces them to face their own inner void and hidden insecurities. In contrast, the strong have mastered the art of silence. They understand that words are a limited resource, meant to be used with precision and wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Why do the truly powerful always choose tactical silence? Why do you feel a desperate urge to explain yourself when misunderstood? This frantic impulse is the ego's way of seeking external control over other people. When we fight to be right, we lose our inner peace. We hand over our emotional keys to the very people we claim to oppose daily. Every notification, every like, and every comment becomes a chain. We seek validation in a digital void that never feels satisfied or truly full of life. Anxiety grows when our worth is tied to others' opinions. We perform for an audience that doesn't truly care about our internal well-being or peace. Watch the lion among hyenas. The hyenas yelp and bite, making a cacophony of sound. Yet the lion remains perfectly still, observant, and completely unbothered. The lion does not need to roar to prove it is the king. Its silent presence alone is enough to command the entire landscape and respect. The pulse of life is steady and deep. When you stop trying to prove your worth, you begin to actually possess that worth deep within. Release the need to be understood by everyone. Truth does not require a defense, and your value is not a subject for public debate or voting. Stepping back from the noise is the ultimate power move. It signals that you are the sole judge of your own character and your life. Time reveals everything. While others waste breath convincing the world, the silent man builds his empire in the quiet shadows of discipline and hard work. Your ego screams for attention, but your soul thrives in the shade. Choose to be the mountain, not the fleeting echo in the noisy valley. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king of Rome, held absolute power over millions. Yet, his greatest battles were fought within the silence of his own mind. He didn't speak to impress the Senate. He wrote to remind himself of virtue. His words were a private sanctuary for his soul and spirit. In his personal journals, he sought the inner citadel. This was a mental fortress where no external chaos or insult could ever reach or harm. He believed that the mind is its own place. Silence was his tool to maintain clarity amidst the heavy pressures of a crumbling Roman Empire. The human mind is a maze of desires and fears. Without silence, we get lost in the noise of our own frantic and disjointed thoughts. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control what others say, but we can control our reaction. Silence is the ultimate form of self-control. When the world throws criticism at you, staying quiet is not losing. It is a declaration that those words are beneath your dignity and spirit. Silence acts as a shield. It prevents the arrows of malice from piercing the heart. It preserves the dignity of the self against the world. Wealth and status are fleeting, but the strength of a silent mind is eternal. Aurelius found peace in the absence of all public praise. Be like the headland on which the waves break. It stands firm, and the foam of the sea sinks to sleep at its feet. Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. The philosopher knows that the loudest man in the room is often the most ignorant of the truth within. In the world of negotiation and human interaction, silence is a weapon. It creates a vacuum that the other person feels compelled to fill immediately. When you stop talking, you start observing. You see the cracks in their logic and the insecurity hidden behind their many frantic and empty words. The person who speaks less has more information. They maintain their mystery and their leverage by keeping their cards close to their chest at all times. Strategy requires patience. Like a grandmaster, the silent person calculates several moves ahead, while the opponent reveals their entire hand too early in the game. There is beauty in the pause. In music, the silence between the notes is what makes the melody beautiful and profoundly moving to the listener. Silence is not the absence of thought, but the presence of focus. It is the tactical choice to withhold energy until the right moment. By not reacting immediately, you regain the initiative. You force the world and the people in it to move at your pace, not theirs. There is power in the stillness before action. The most devastating strikes come from a place of absolute and focused quietude and internal preparation. Look at yourself honestly. Are you speaking because you have something to say, or because you are afraid of the quiet in the room? Mastering your tongue is the first step toward mastering your life. If you can control your speech, you can control your destiny and future path. Strategic silence builds a bridge of authority. People naturally gravitate toward those who speak with weight, rather than those who speak with constant frequency. A true master is absorbed in their craft. They don't look around to see who is watching. The work itself is the reward and purpose. The artisan finds peace in the process. Their validation comes from the quality of the grain and the tool, not from the public's applause. The cliff does not ask the ocean for permission to stand. It endures the crashing waves for centuries, silent and completely indifferent to the noise. Be the cliff. Let the opinions of others wash over you without eroding your core. Your foundation must be built on your own internal truth. Those who have lived long know that most arguments are meaningless. They smile at the noise, knowing that silence is the final and best answer. There is a profound joy in not needing to be right. When you let go of the need for validation, you become truly free. The higher you climb in self-awareness, the less you need the cheering of the crowd. The air is always quiet and pure at the summit. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. It doesn't seek approval for the harvest. It simply grows and provides what is needed for life. Your inner light doesn't need a megaphone. It shines brightest when you are at peace with who you are, regardless of what others may say. Loneliness is for the weak. Solitude is for the strong. In silence, you find the companionship of your own higher self and your true thoughts. Every detail of your life has meaning, even if no one else sees it. Live for the audience of one, your own honest conscience. Power is the ability to walk away from the noise and feel perfectly content in the stillness of your own presence and your own mind. Today, when you face a provocation or a chance to brag, choose the path of silence. Observe the profound shift in your own internal energy. Notice how much energy you save when you don't defend your ego. That energy can now be used for your own creation and personal growth. True majesty is a quiet thing. It is the calm after the storm, and the deep breath taken before a truly monumental task is undertaken. We are all stars in a vast, silent universe. The brightest ones don't make a sound. They simply burn with an eternal and focused purpose. Let your results speak for you. Let your character be your resume. Let your presence be the only proof the world ever needs from you. As you move through the world, remember that the most powerful thing you can say is often nothing at all. Silence is your strength. Find the power in your own quiet. Thank you for listening to the silence. May you walk in peace and find your inner strength.